light the beam, because it's time for Nerdy for 30, the podcast where we talk about nerdy-ish movies for 30-ish minutes. My name is Kevin Bauer, a.k.a. the Critic's Choice. With me, as always, is the People's Champ, Tim Cack.
Yeah, buddy. If you feel it, chase it.
If you feel it, chase it. And today, what we are chasing is the movie The Bikeriders, and we couldn't talk about this movie, this film, without bringing in a very special guest. You may know her from her performances at UCB. You may know her from the Gloquacious Hour on YouTube. It's Glo Tavarez.
Woo!
Yay!
Glo, thank you so much for being here.
Hey.
Bringing a real chill energy.
This isn't a video podcast, right?
There's a video.
I mean, we can cut the video. We do very low quality uploads to YouTube, but it's all optional.
Okay, no. Yeah, then keep it in.
Keep it in. Head to YouTube. See the vibes.
See my dog appear and disappear in the background.
It's a great effect. And it's an adorable dog.
Oh my gosh.
Glo, this is great. We wanted to have you on the pod for a while. Frankly, we cover a lot of smut on this. It's a lot of superhero stuff.
Ooh.
That some people, Martin Scorsese included, would argue don't necessarily belong in the film canon. We usually say that we cover one film a year and it's whatever won Best Picture. This one's an exception. We kind of accidentally covered a film here.
This one today?
Bike ride. I mean, I think so. Do you agree? I know you're more into.
I love Austin Butler, and I'll say that hands down. He's a hot man, and he's hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he was cringe. I was like, ew, he's a little cringe. And then I watched Dune, and I was like, no, he's hot. He wasn't cringe ever. He just, is a very passionate, hot man, and that's. I don't know if I liked this movie. I'll be honest. I know people liked it. I don't love gang movies, and this is very much a gang movie. And it's just another movie showing how men shouldn't be friends with each other.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I took away too, even though I loved it up top. I'm from Florida, so like our mafia is biker gangs. There's no like mobsters down there. It's all bikers driving around, making people uncomfortable. So I was like, this is a vibe.
We're from Florida, but we're from two different parts of Florida, even though we have the same area code. But your part of Florida for sure is biker gangs.
There's
it's biker gangs and bikers and churches, right?
Yeah. I actually, because I was curious what the gangs were up to in my hometown. So I found the Facebook page of the local chapter. And it was very funny because this is like a 1%er gang. And like the ladies in the group are commenting on there, like, if anyone needs help sewing their patches on their vest, let me know. And like stuff like that. And it's like a little fundraisers and things. And it's like, oh, it's also kind of cute. It depends what the vibe are. There's like hardcore groups. And then there's the fun groups that like, stand outside kids' homes when they have to go on trial or something like that and like protect people and do charity stuff. So there's like there's good bikers and bad bikers.
Which this movie illustrates. In the beginning, they were just a bunch of dudes just trying to hang out.
Yes.
And then, it got corrupted. What I do think is very funny is that he was doing the first time I heard what's his face talk, I was like, oh no, what's his accent? Tom Hardy. I was like, oh no, what is this? It was a fucking shock. I was like, what the fuck? And then you saw that he was just doing a Marlon Brando impression because his character was doing a Marlon Brando impression, which is funny. That's really funny. He watched the movie and was like, I'm going to do that, which is like, what?
It's truly, I had no idea that was going to be a part of this movie from trailers and stuff. I figured it was going to be kind of like Goodfellas, where it's like, all these guys have been in this life. But to see that he just had a quiet home life with a family and was really into Rebel Without a Cause. And he's like, I got to do this. I got to fucking do this.
Wild. You guys loved the movie?
I kind of did. Yeah. I kind of loved it. I had a great time watching it. It scratched a lot of itches for me. I mean, it is a great example. You're right of how groups and ideas are always ruined by the people that join them. Like masculinity, cool. Bunch of guys horsing around, riding bikes, fun. Now all of a sudden we're intimidating people and beating people up. And then the new guys show up and they're like, it's not safe for anyone to hang around anymore. And it's like, okay, this got toxic real quick, you know, like the vision was destroyed, and that was sad to see. But up top, I was like, it's just a good hang, you know. Any group with cockroach in it, I'm like, this is just we're all about the hang now.
What a cutie character. Cockroach was the cutest character.
He was.
He was so cute and just like, I don't know, I bug sometimes, which is adorable, you know? He's like, I'm just trying to be weird. I don't know, I'll eat a bug. Who cares? There was like a desperation to them in the beginning where they were just clearly like lonely dudes trying to have friends or whatever. Because even like, he's like, don't worry, I'll protect you, to the girl who... God, that accent was also crazy. What was her name?
What
Kathy.
was it? Kathy? Yeah.
Kathy?
Yes.
You know, she's like British, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Nuts.
They come over here. They try to do our accents.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. I remember watching Little Women and being like, how is this Americana movie with 4 foreigners?
This is what I'm saying. We need an American James Bond. You know?
That's
we
true.
need to get an American playing James Bond. We need to get an American playing Harry Potter. Just
hell
hit him where it
yeah.
hurts.
Hit him where it
Paddington.
hurts. We could never do an accent as good as they could do accents. Let's be real.
God, no. The
That's
best
true.
we get is Robert Downey Jr. playing Sherlock Holmes, and it's dicey. I didn't like it as much as Tim. It was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. But there's just so much weird shit in this movie. So when Kathy first comes into this bar and meets everybody, it feels like, you know, like what a gang would be like on Happy Days. They're kind of intimidating. They're very countercultural, especially considering this is the 60s. But like, I don't know. It doesn't seem, it's a far cry from the vibe of when the new guys join and everybody gets back in Vietnam and it's like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah.
That initial round, it's like all these knuckleheads in that bar together and they're all pretty much cosplaying Rebel Without a Cause. And then there's just very sweet women hanging around in the background.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy's wife is still around and still hanging out with him. And she just has this husband that's part of the subculture now. But it doesn't seem like it changed her at all, which I think is great.
I loved it. Can we say, like, Michael Shannon was incredible in this fucking movie?
Yeah.
Both the speeches he did, so I was like, oh, this guy's acting right now. He fucking did it. Because he was like a goofy character. But yeah, you talking about Vietnam and how he wanted to go to Vietnam and they were like, no, you can't go. And how much it hurt him. I was like, oh, fuck. Hell yeah. They're all hurt people who wanted a little group of to like hang out with.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it just got bad because they got greedy, I guess. They should have never added anyone.
No, that first, whatever that guy's name was, that he had the beard and he challenged Johnny. They never should have gone with that idea.
My God, fists or knives.
I love fists or knives. It's
love
so
fist or
cool,
knives.
fists or knives. Especially because at the end, like for the first time, someone says knives and Johnny just immediately knows he's dead.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like the second the guy says knives, he's like, we're going to kill each other, you know? But damn, that gun at the end fucking broke my heart. Oh, man, I was so bummed. I was prepared. Like, I knew he was a goner. But I was excited to see an honorable fight. And then just the gun comes out and you're like, there is no honor amongst these men. These are heathens. They do not deserve to be whatever this group was called.
Vandals, I think.
Vandals.
They don't deserve to be vandals.
Mm-mm.
Truly.
Get them out of here.
It was disgusting. It was, I screamed. I was like, what? What the fuck? It came out of nowhere. And you knew he was a shitty dude. Because then they show him with his parents. Oh my God, that scene is too much. Too much. But they show him with his parents and you think he's defending his mom, but he's not. He's just telling him to shut the fuck up. And then she kicks him out. Oh God. What a sad movie. My question is, Kathy, where did her money come from? That's all I kept thinking about. Is it just because I'm a millennial and I'm like, how does she own a house and not have to worry about paying it? But the whole time I'm like, she's just in this house. Where is money coming from? Like, he's not working, but then she gets him a motel when he like hurts his foot. I'm like, was shit that much cheaper back in the day that they could just afford a motel for days to heal? That doesn't make any sense to me.
It's crazy. Like her house had to be $15. Like, how did she buy that thing?
How it's like a 2-story house
Yeah.
in a neighborhood. I don't know. I don't know why that I was so hung up on that. But I was like, okay, but like, does she have a job? Like, because he doesn't have a job at all. He's just a fucking dude. And he even says he doesn't pay dues.
Yeah.
At one point.
At one point, though, in an interview, she says, "Oh yeah, he's got a job. He's a short haul trucker." And it's like, "Oh no, he isn't."
Johnny
Johnny's
she said Johnny's the trucker.
I thought she was
Johnny
talking
was
about
a
Benny.
trucker. Benny never had a job, but he could have been a mechanic or something like that. But
yeah, at the end, he becomes a mechanic.
Oh, and I definitely want to talk. Do we think he's not sticking with that life for long, right? Like he's getting back on the bike.
That's what I was wondering.
Scared. I think he's too scared to get back on the bike.
Oh, but this is Benny we're talking about.
I was wondering about it because his character is great. Because Johnny is a poser. Johnny watched a movie and saw these bikers, and he's pretending to be a biker. And maybe some parts of it are really resonating with him, and he is embodying that lifestyle. He's showing up to a knife fight with a knife in one hand and brass knuckles in the other. But Benny is the purest embodiment of the idea that he is trying to impart of like, this guy just rides. He's just for the club. He's got his bro's back. You know, he's a little crazy. He just cares. He's a free spirit. He doesn't give a shit about anything. You know, there's nothing holding him down, holding him back. He is like the embodiment of this movement that Johnny started. And then all these other people come in and they just completely undercut all of it. And there's just no place for Johnny or Benny in it at all anymore. You know, once they get violent, then Benny's got to hit the road. But I was wondering, like, is his connection really with riding, or is his identity just held up in Johnny as someone who's really been a mentor and like believed in him? We don't really know anything about Benny's family at all. Is it possible that Johnny is like his dad basically, and like the only, you know, family figure he has outside of Kathy?
I will say that was the one thing that like he felt so one-dimensional to me. He was just a reckless kid who wouldn't take off his leathers, even though, you know, he was getting his ass kicked. And so like, that's all you kind of know. And then you also hear like, he never cries. He never cries. So obviously they're like gearing up for him crying. So when he actually cried, I rolled my eyes so hard. I was like, of course, here we go. This is the scene that they've been building up to. But I do wish we knew Chekhov's tears. I just wish there was like something. We knew something about him. We really know nothing. And it felt so hollow. So it's like, I don't know if he wants to go back because I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. All I know is that he was still riding bikes when he quit. He like went with another like group of dudes and was riding bikes because I think he loves riding his bike. And then he came back after Johnny died.
Well, they said there was a line in there that was like, the golden age of motorcycles died when Johnny did. And it seems like if I'm getting real symbolic with this, if Benny is like the embodiment of like this spirit that Johnny introduced, then the golden age is over. There's nowhere for Benny to go anymore. You know, his age is over. It's done. And maybe that desire is gone too. And he's fine with hanging out. I mean, at the end of the movie, it looks like he's bored out of his mind and wishing he was anywhere else. And then he gives like a little smile at the end. And I'm like, I don't know what this means. Is he actually happy? Is he? I'm kind of leaning towards he's actually happy doing this thing, but I'm not sure why he isn't. Because she says he doesn't even miss going on the bike. And I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
You know, he's sitting there and you're hearing the engines in his head. He might be happy now, but he definitely like longs for the bikes, longs for the road.
Also, their relationship was also hollow. Like all they do is stare at each other one day and then they that's it. Then they're married but you never really see them interact with each other other than like watching a movie together once. I was also like, listen, if I'm going to watch a violent movie, I need some romance, some of it. I just need a little bit. But like you said, he's in Florida, right? And you're from Florida. Maybe he becomes one of the dudes who like does charities with his bikes. And
Maybe.
You know, Kathy teaches people how to sew on patches. And maybe they're all in a Facebook group now with the bikes.
Oh,
Yeah, why
that's
couldn't they
crazy.
be in like a chill bike gang?
They
Yeah.
probably are. These people are probably out there. Age-wise, it matches up, you know? This took place, what, over like 60 to 75? Something roughly like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be dead.
They could be dead.
Probably dead, yeah. With the
They're
lifestyles
probably
they
dead.
lived. For sure,
Yeah.
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 It was sad when they rattled off everyone at the end and they're like, so-and-so fell off a ladder, broke his neck. And it's just like, nobody gets a happy ending in this. Cockroach is the only one. He got shot in the leg and now he's a cop and it's like, good for him. I don't know.
Yeah.
He looked happy.
It's a bummer. He was happy though. That's
he
good. I
was
want a cockroach
happy.
to be happy.
Yeah.
And I do like that Benny was like, why the fuck did we just shoot him? Like, what are we fucking doing? Like, is this what we are now? And it's like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing, Johnny? Like, he got so wrapped up in the fucking power aspect of it. It's like, men are dumb. I don't know if you guys agree.
Agreed.
He shot him right so that the new guys wouldn't kill him.
Yeah.
Because then he can be like, I already took care of it. You know, that's what you get. I shot him in the leg.
Yeah.
But he still shot his friend in the leg. You're right. This is like, it's just like an extreme of masculinity. You know, it's like, it was cool when they were all broing out at the beginning, but now the idea of like, you know, but I need these new guys, you know, and I have all this power and I shoot him in the leg. And I bet Cockroach knew because he's sitting there waiting in the dark there. You know, he's got like a family. They're not there. It's just him at the house. He stands up like he knows it's coming, you know, so I don't know. It's a weird honor code thing that seemed a little fucked up at the end.
It feels a little bit too like, I mean, if I'm going to get symbolic, it feels like one of those things that we're told over and over by Kathy throughout this movie, which is that this was an arbitrary thing that the guys decided that then the new people coming in took as like a law written in stone.
Yeah.
And so in addition to being one of those things that we've seen ourselves in subcultures, I mean, all of us came up doing improv in New York City. So like there's a lot of things that were considered traditions for us that we were very beholden to that I'm sure was just something that somebody tossed out one day as a random aside.
Yeah.
And then also I feel like a lot of it was symbolic of, brace yourselves, America, because of all this optimism around freedom that people had. And then like around the times of economic booms, and then with the symbolism, people coming back from Vietnam and suddenly like the vibe turning very sour and people being a lot less friendly and people being a lot more world weary and having deeper, darker problems. Like the guy we see just shooting up in her doorway.
Oh my God. It got so crazy.
Yeah.
The movie, like it, but that is what America went through. I guess you're right. It is about America. Hashtag America.
Hashtag America.
And if you're tweeting at Nerdy for 30, use the hashtag America.
Hashtag America.
No, you listen to the pod. I do. That is interesting because it was a shift after Vietnam where things just got dark. But Johnny kept being like, I can't control these dudes. And it's like he was put up against the wall of like, I don't know what I did, what I caused, but I can't control them. And yeah, like what could he do? They fucking kicked Cockroach's ass for quitting. He can't quit. He couldn't quit.
No,
he was gonna get his ass kicked. The only way out was like giving it to Benny, and Benny was like, I don't fucking want this shit. Benny was able to leave. Oof, I don't know. It was a lot.
It's kind of like the weird like honor amongst thieves things where at the beginning of the movies like you're gonna be safe, you know, and like it's a little creepy, but it still seems like there's like some code happening there.
But to be fair, a lot of the reason that I was trying to give a lot of caveats at the top of the pod is because when she came into the biker bar first, it still seemed threatening. There were still guys that were very forward with her, and
it is
like,
threatening.
It's not a safe place.
But Johnny could control them, I think. And I think that's a big difference between like when things got out of control that Johnny couldn't be like, stop it or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it wasn't a terrible movie. I wanted more from Benny. I do still think it was very hollow and their relationship was hollow. I did love the nerd character played by
the photographer.
Yeah, the photographer.
Mike Feist.
Mike Feist. So he was so cute in this. He was a little cutie, you know? His body was like all bent the whole time. Just like real, like with a microphone. He's like, I don't know, maybe I'll write a book. It's like, okay.
Oh my God. Mike Weiss is a human Dutch angle, just 45 degrees the whole time.
The whole time, just like exhausted holding up this microphone. It's so funny.
It was wonderful. I was so happy. Tim, you haven't seen Challengers yet, have you? Glo, you've seen Challengers, right?
Of course.
Challengers fucking rules. It's my favorite movie I've seen this year.
It's so good. Is it my favorite movie? I don't know if it is, but I loved it.
It's wonderful. Always happy to see it. From here on out, anybody, Josh O'Connor, obviously Zendaya, but like Mike, just give me more.
He's great. Loved him. I loved him in it. I love him in Challengers. Yeah, Josh O'Connor too. In that one, I was like, wait, this guy looks like he smells bad, but also he's hot. You got to watch the movie, Tim.
You got it. You will love it, dude. You will love it.
Yeah, no one said anything yet that really has me interested, but yeah, I get it.
She just said Josh O'Connor looks like he smells bad. What more do you want?
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like no threesome, tennis. I'm like, okay, well, I'll force myself to watch it at some point. But
okay. Do you like edging? Are you a fan of edging?
Glo, I love edging.
Okay, well then here's a movie you gotta watch.
Really?
Oh my God!
Wow, for a lord like myself, you're saying I'm gonna love the Challenger.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's an edgelord movie for sure.
It's 4 out of 5. Oh yes, on the edgelord scale.
Like please.
Okay, I'm in. I'll watch it.
Everybody just trembling, holding their churros in the theater.
Oh yeah, you gotta eat churros while you watch the movie.
You fucking.
It's the only thing. It's the only way I watch movies.
Oh, that's kind of a fun one. What do you think? This should be a new thing. What do you think the perfect snack is for this movie?
Oh
wow.
I mean, a beer probably, right?
Oh yeah, probably like a real shitty, like a Schlitz. Is that still a real thing? That used to be a thing, right? Or like a pork slap, just like a real shitty regional beer.
A pork slap, a real muddy brew. And I was thinking like Twizzlers for whatever reason, just because you bite it and you rip them. You know, I just feel like that's an aggressive snack to be eating, and I feel like that kind of fits. You know, something you got to rip off.
A beer and a Twizzler. That sounds actually exquisite. Maybe use a Twizzler as a straw for a bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Beer Twizzler.
That'd be amazing.
Beer Twizzler. Oh yeah.
There's a microbrewery out there who could pull off a combo for that would work.
Yeah. A muddy Twizzler beer.
Muddy Twizzler beer.
The Nerdy for 30 pod partners up with Brooklyn Brewery to bring you the muddy Twizzler.
The muddy Twizzler. Guys, I think I hated this movie.
I think that's okay.
Were you out on Kathy the whole time? Because I really liked the photographer and Kathy's scenes where she's talking. I feel like I could just listen to her talk forever. I really liked it a lot.
I liked her. I liked the fact that she was like, just talked so fucking much, which is like very, very fun. I do wonder if the book has a lot of her in it, which is probably why she's so heavily featured. But I love that she just talked so much and was like, all right, can you move? Can we go? Can we like, you know, I wanted more of a reason. Like, why did she stick around? Why did she go to this picnic even though she was against it? Like, she was just like, fine. Like, she was like a strong character, but then also like she wasn't, you know? Just
It's what she does. It's what she does. It's who she is. She's in this biker gang. Now she's a vandal too. I mean, I liked to her talking so much thing. She repeated herself so many times, and I thought it was so funny and charming. Where they're like, how'd the club get started? And she's like, well, they're all from the racing club, you know, and it's, you know, it's just a couple guys from the racing club, and then, you know, but they all met at the racing club, and then they decided to join the Vandals, and it was all just guys from the racing club. And I'm just like, that's so. She said racing club at least a dozen times in this, and I loved it.
I did, yeah. I loved her, and like she like, I guess it was that Midwest passive aggression that was a lot of fun, where she's like, they're fucking here all day, but she doesn't tell them to leave.
Yeah.
She's just kind of like, these fucks, you know?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, she's like, oh, you left me one beer from the case? Oh, thank you. Like, yeah, that cut fucking deep.
Yeah.
So who are those guys? There's just randos on her couch?
Just randos who, like, the gang got so big that they all just started coming over.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so nuts. That Benny's not even around and she's got like all these people over there, I guess.
I wanted more Michael Shannon too. Like, he was so fucking good. Them being the Pinkos, fucking people, shorts.
Talk.
I was thinking about the short pants stuff all day today.
Short pants and socks. You know, they're Pinkos and they wear short pants and socks. Like, how about you? How did you join? He's like, I went to college for photography. Just like,
so good.
And Shannon thinks it's funny. Like, Zippo thinks that's like cool about it. You know, he's not, I don't know. He's still, I was excited Norman Reedus showed up. You know, funny Sonny. It was nice. I did not recognize him at first. And then sitting around the fire, got a look and I was like, holy crap, it's Walking Dead. He's here.
oh, the guy
man
with the
himself.
teeth. Sonny.
Yeah.
He was
Yes.
fucking, he was one of the first that you were like, I don't know about this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the first tricky one. Yeah.
Yeah. He was gonna kick that guy's ass. Cal from California. The names were fun. There was a lot of it that was fun.
It was kind of, we talked a lot a couple years ago when Top Gun Maverick came out about call signs and how fun call signs are. All the bikers have kind of like dirtbag call signs.
That is fun. I think that's fun. I watched another movie. I watched the Abigail movie yesterday, and they
Ooh.
tried to give them call signs, and it didn't work because they were all someone from the Rat Pack, but there was no reason. They were just like Frank, Sammy, Dean, or whatever. They didn't like, but it was like, but you forgot who was who because it was like you just gave them arbitrary names. But this movie did it good.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's
and if
the way you
Nerdy
gotta
for
do
30
it.
listeners want to hear our takes on Abigail, you can check out our Abigail pod
Oh,
wherever
you guys
you're
saw it?
listening to this one. We did. We liked it. It
Yeah.
was fun.
It was fun.
I did want to talk about the like big fight scenes in this movie because we get a couple big scraps in this. And I thought it was like really visceral action. Like I was kind of shocked by how good just the whole vibe of this movie was and like how pretty it looked. And then when you get action in something like that, I feel like it's usually shot like very artistically. And this one, I still think it's shot artfully, but like you really felt the impact. And like when there was that fight, the part where Johnny got challenged, when they're having that fight in the mud, it's like they're throwing these haymakers at each other and he snaps that guy's finger. And it's like, ah, fuck, man.
Yeah.
That was
Ugh,
cool.
you loved it.
Yeah, it's neat. That's boys being boys. You know, they're horsing around. They're getting into an argument about whether or not there should be a phone in their club. And then they go outside and they roll around in the mud until they hug and drink beer together. It's like, that's, I'm like, this is dudes being dudes telling stories. We cut to Michael Shannon talking about Nam or whatever. I'm like, this is a vibe. We're chilling right now.
Oh my God. When they were at a place, I don't know where they were at a place and there was another gang there and they were like all in each other's faces and Benny just comes and starts fucking punching.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember how it ends, but then afterwards they're all just drinking a beer and talking about people they have in common. I'm like, that's fun. That is boys being boys, I guess.
That's boys
like,
being boys.
You can't do that anymore. That died with Johnny. That you just absolutely cannot do that kind of thing at all anymore. The closest you can get these days is if you go to like a mosh pit at a hardcore show. It's like people are punching each other, but if anybody hits the ground, everybody gets them up as quick as they can. It's like simultaneously a very violent and extremely supportive situation.
That's such a good comparison because that is there is a culture in rock shows where like people shouldn't be getting actually hurt, but there's always young people that show up and start doing crazy shit. And old people have to be like, no, dog, this isn't the way it works.
Yeah.
And Johnny didn't do that shit to the kids. I think that was his mistake. He was scared. He wasn't a real gangster. So he was intimidated by these kids.
That's why he needed Benny. He needed Benny because Benny was the real deal.
Benny was a real deal.
Benny was the real thing. And Johnny knew he was a poser, and he just knew Benny was his dream come true, you know?
Damn.
And
Benny
his
could
wife
have done
never
it.
got that milk.
No.
Yeah.
And they
She asked
died.
him for milk.
Yeah, what'd you think of that? How he's like just leaving and his house looks so boring and gray, and his wife, who's like been there the whole time. I mean, Betty's been chilling with him, and he doesn't say he loves her, and he doesn't even get to say goodbye to the kids because they're somewhere else. And the only relationship he really has is Kathy, and then goes and dies in a parking lot.
Yeah, he goes to see Kathy because he knows he's gonna die. It's like, just in case maybe Benny's there. My dog is slipping and she's annoying me. Get off. No more.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And Johnny wasn't there. I do wonder if Benny would have stayed if he would have died. I wonder if like Benny has that. Is that why he was crying? Because like he cries, but we don't even know why he's crying.
Yeah.
But he
Like-
left when Johnny offered him the club, which I'm still not 100% positive why he wouldn't take it. Because it seemed like he liked it, but it must be that he's more invested in Johnny than he is in the actual club or something.
He likes writing. He likes a camaraderie, but he doesn't want to be anyone's boss, is what I gathered. He's like very free spirit. And if he doesn't want to be in charge. But he left after Cockroach got shot is when he left. Because he's like, it's never going to be me. It's not me. And he fucking dipped.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, Johnny, you put all your eggs in one basket.
Maybe Brucey could have been good. He said it's not Brucey. Maybe Brucey could have been good. He was like the conscience of the whole club.
But then Bruce died.
He did die. Yeah, but that was an accident. You know, nobody shot him in a parking lot.
But then why was the family so mad at them for Brucey dying? Because he got backed into by a car while riding his bicycle down the street, right? That's so unrelated to what the Vandals are about that I don't know. It seems crazy unless they just blame them for him owning a motorcycle.
I think that's the thing.
Probably.
You know, they're grieving.
Yeah.
That or the car was driven by a rival gang, which we don't know. They never showed who was driving the car.
Oh, that's a good one. The kid was driving it.
It was the kid. 100% it was the kid. That's headcanon.
Blame everything on the kid.
The kid was also in the show called The Society, which is this like terrible.
Yes.
Did you watch The Society?
He was like yes, I never got renewed. I was so sad.
Oh my God.
He's the dick in it, right? He's like the main.
He's a fucking psycho in that too.
Yes. Gosh, you're the only other person I've met who's watched it.
Isn't it terrible that they canceled it? Oh my God. Kevin.
What is the show?
Oh, it's called The Society. All the adults and children disappear, and the only people who are left are these like teenagers, high schoolers, and they have to figure out how to they have to form a society. And it's gruesome. It's gruesome. But at the end, they show another dimension and another world where they write all the kids that are missing. And so you're like, okay, so the other world exists. Where are they? How? And that's it. You never know what happens. You just know that they disappeared, and then the other people know that they're missing.
Oh, that sucks.
It was a COVID casualty.
Damn. Maybe they'll bring it back.
That's a good one.
No, they won't. It's been years.
It's dead.
Well,
it's buried.
I think that's like America, you know?
It's gone.
Yeah.
I got one final
Hashtag
question.
America.
A COVID casualty.
Just like America. One final question.
Hashtag America.
Hashtag America if you're
first.
tweeting Nerdy for 30. I also want to know what you both think. I tried to look this up. I don't have the math, unfortunately. I did do the legwork, but I couldn't find it. If somebody out there online knows this, please let us know. I would love to know. Who do you think had more lines in their movie? Austin Butler in the Bikeriders or Anya Taylor-Joy in Furiosa? Because she had 30 lines of dialogue in Furiosa, and I don't know that Austin Butler had that in this movie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Anya Taylor-Joy in Dune, where she had 3 lines.
Legit forgot she was in
Anya Taylor-Joy is like, if I'm in a movie, I'm not talking, okay? I don't want to learn shit.
Benny doesn't talk at all, huh?
He just looks, you know? If he were any less attractive, all his looks would be really creepy.
I imagine Benny has more. Is it Benny's movie though?
No, it's Tom Hardy's movie, I think.
Yeah, I think it's Tom Hardy's movie.
I think you're probably right. It probably is. Yeah, it probably is Benny. But
Benny has more lines.
now I really want to know what the record is for like the fewest words spoken across the most movie appearances in a single year, because Anya Taylor-Joy has to be crushing that.
Oh, yeah.
No question.
No
Is
question.
this the most Tom Hardy's ever talked in a movie?
I don't know. Tom Hardy movies. Did you guys see Lisa Frankenstein?
Oh, not yet. I hear it's fun.
I
want
love.
to.
That's my favorite. I think that's one of my favorite movies of the year. It's on Peacock, I think.
Really interesting.
We'll have to do it for the pod.
Yeah.
Cole Sprouse, he has one line at the end.
Interesting.
He's just a zombie the whole time. He's the creature.
That's not hurting it, I don't think.
No, it does. It for sure makes the movie more enjoyable. The fact that Cole Sprouse doesn't talk at all. He's just
I think that's fine.
He's doing a lot of miming. He like worked with a mime for 2 months before the movie.
I love the idea that he's like, yeah, I worked with the mime for 2 months, but they just like worked together at an office job. And like, we
just worked on a script.
Yeah.
We're writing a movie about mimes.
I always think it's funny when they're like, yeah, I worked with a mime for 2 months. And it's like, 2 months? Mastering the art of miming. 2 months? Is that an accurate amount of time? Should it be 2 years? Should it be 2 weeks? I don't know. I find that the time periods for all of these things, these people mastering this stuff, Jedi training for 60 days. It's like, is this enough Jedi training for this movie?
Well, I do think that when you are studying to be in a movie, it's every day, all day.
Mm-hmm.
So that counts for something, right? Versus it's got to. Versus like I've been doing miming once a week for 7 years,
Yeah. You got like a 2-hour class, but there's like a 15-minute intermission halfway through. So everybody like use the restroom and stuff. Yeah, that's not condensed miming.
Yeah, Benny doesn't talk at all, huh?
I mean, you guys watch the movie. Watch the movie and let me know if you think his miming was paid off.
We will.
I imagine Benny has more. Is it Benny's movie?
It looks like a ton of fun. I feel very stupid. It took me so long to understand the pun in the title. And then when I finally kind of was like, oh yeah, look at that. That's great.
Movie. It's super cute. And then Catherine Newton's in it from The Society, Tim.
She was in The Society too?
Benny has she was a star of it.
Dude. I just rewatched Freaky.
You've mentioned The Society?
Not in this pod.
Oh yeah. The Society was so funny. There are scenes where people do mutual masturbation at each other. And did you guys see Lisa Frankenstein? Because you're like, what the fuck?
At each other?
I love. That's my favorite.
Just like staring into each other's eyes. It's like,
it's
what
on
are
Peacock,
we doing here? What is this fucking show?
Cole Sprouse.
Oh my god.
There's also a pregnant girl, and we have no idea
the zombie
who
the whole
father
time.
is, and she won't say, and we'll never know why she was pregnant or how she got pregnant. No idea.
Cole Sprouse doesn't talk at all.
I think that's fine.
I mean, not the details.
I mean, if everybody's just standing at opposite sides of the room staring at each other and jacking it, then maybe we don't know how she got pregnant.
Yeah, she has knowledge that the rest of the group is sorely lacking.
She could rule that world with the information she possesses.
She's the only one that's pregnant, but everyone else is trying.
Oh my god, it's such a fucked up show. Do you like teen shows, Tim?
A little bit. I liked that one, but
did you watch Fate? A Wing Saga? That one's
I watched
fun.
the first season. I couldn't get into the second one, but the first season was kind of fun in a bad way. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved the second season. It was awful. Really? It was even worse. Yeah. I cried at the end when all the other girls got their fairy powers too. They all got their wings. And I was like, oh, I got the wings. I was like,
massive spoilers for fairy season 2.
Oh, it's fine. It's also canceled. Another fucking Netflix bullshit where they get you excited for a show. Don't watch it. It ends after season 2.
That one makes sense to me.
We got to bring it back. We got to get the people tweeting. Tweet at Netflix about it. Make sure you tweet at us too. #America. Glo.
America.
Thank you so much for joining us. Do you have anything you want to plug?
No, the Gloquacious Hour on YouTube. And you come watch me at UCB. If you're ever around, if you're in New York, come through.
Yes.
Hell yeah. New York listeners.
Hell yeah.
Make it happen.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody. This has been Nerdy for 30. We'll be back here again next week. I think we're covering the new Tollywood movie that dropped. It's our dude, SS Rajamouli from RRR. It's called Kalki 2898 AD. It's also on Netflix right now. So check it out before you check out season 2 of the Winx Saga. Yeah, this has been awesome. Thanks again, Glo. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Glo.
Thank you.